I want you to picture this. You've been feeling exhausted for months, maybe even years at this point. Your brain feels foggy. You keep waking up drenched in sweat. Your joints ache for no reason. And somehow, even though your diet hasn't changed, you're gaining weight around your midsection that just won't budge. So you finally go to your doctor, someone that you have trusted for years, hoping for real answers. And what do they say? Oh, that's just part of aging, or you just have to deal with it, or maybe they've even said, here's an antidepressant. Try this, it might work. Sound familiar, right? Well, if you're nodding yes right now, I want you to know, first and foremost, you are not alone. And no, you're not crazy or losing your mind either. See, it's sad for me to say this, but 75% of women going through menopause do not receive proper medical guidance from their doctors. Did you know that in the US, less than 20% of OBGYN residents receive any formal menopause training? In fact, a 2019 survey conducted by Mayo Clinic found that 58% of medical residents only received one lecture on menopause during their entire medical training, while 20% received no education on the topic at all. And here's a big one. Did you know the average woman spends over 1/3 of her life in menopause, yet there is no mandatory menopause education for doctors? Yet and still, many of them give outdated, incorrect, and ill-informed advice. Things like, just take an antidepressant, or it'll pass, you just have to deal with it. When in fact, there are several medical and non-medical ways to effectively manage menopause that have been researched, tested, and proven to help with symptom management. But look, doctors can't provide the information or tools that they don't know or understand themselves. But let me ask you this. Would you accept that kind of treatment if you had a broken bone? If you went to your doctor for high blood pressure and they said, oh, that's just part of getting older, would you accept that? Of course not. So why is it acceptable for women to suffer in menopause without real medical support? And this isn't just happening to one or two women. This is happening everywhere, worldwide, in fact. It's happening today. I remember it happening over 36 years ago to my mom, right? That was actually when I was first introduced to menopause. My mom was a creative, confident, and powerful woman, a singer, an activist, a playwright, community leader, a social worker for battered women and children. She even helped to get laws passed and received a proclamation from President Clinton for her work in the field. But when menopause hit her, she was just left to struggle alone. I can remember her suffering from these debilitating hot flashes, uncontrollable weight gain, chronic headaches, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and osteoporosis, all before the age of 50. She went to doctors looking for answers, and guess what they told her? Oh, that's just part of aging, or you just have to deal with it, or take this medication. So much medication. They didn't offer her real solutions or really take her seriously. They dismissed her and over-medicated her. Just like women are still being dismissed and over-medicated today, over 30 years after my mom. Back then, they didn't have the resources, the knowledge, or support like we do now. So she was left to suffer, feeling unheard and unseen. And that is why I'm so passionate about this work. I became the advocate for women today that my mom never had back then. Because educating, empowering, and ensuring that no woman has to feel like menopause is something that you just have to deal with, well, I think that's something that every woman should know and understand. So I made it my mission to equip women with the knowledge and tools to take back control of your own health, your own vitality, and your own future. Because here's the thing, even with all the medical advancements today, too many women are still being dismissed and misdiagnosed. In fact, look at all the celebrities coming forward today, telling their horror stories with their doctors, even with all of their resources. Halle Berry, Oprah, Drew Barrymore, and Beth Behrs from Two Broke Girls. When she was 38, she started experiencing perimenopause symptoms, right? She was exhausted, struggling with mood swings, had anxiety, just didn't feel like herself. Went to her doctor, just like my mom, just like you, just like millions of other women, hoping for answers. But she was told she was too young for perimenopause. They just dismissed her symptoms outright. She had to fight to be taken seriously and eventually had to find a menopause specialist just to get proper care. And unfortunately, she's not alone, right? There are thousands of women just like Beth, just like you, just like my mom, misdiagnosed, dismissed, and sent home with no real answers. And it's unacceptable. And that's exactly why today's episode is so important. So grab a notebook to take some notes if you'd like. And if you have had a frustrating experience with a doctor regarding menopause, drop a comment and share your story because you never know. I may read it on air another time or provide a resource for you that may help. Now, we are coming up on a quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, I'm going to be sharing the 5 crucial questions that you need to ask your doctor about menopause and why their answers can make or break your journey to feeling better, faster, and in more control. I'm Mr. Menopause, Tafiq Akhir, and you are watching the Mr. Menopause Show on Bold Brave TV. Stay with me because it's time to take back your power in the doctor's office, and you don't want to miss this right after this.